Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Christopher Garza Real Estate News. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello, YouTube. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Today we are. Oh my gosh! Scared me, which it should, honestly. Overpricing is the death sentence for sellers. That's kind of what our topic's going to be about today, as well as just giving you the 7-day stats, where we're at as far as interest rates go, and a little bit of information to back that up. So let's go ahead and get to this first article. This is by rocketmortgage.com. It says one of the biggest mistakes buyers can make is overpricing their home. It also talks a little bit about what would happen with when you do that. Overpricing, you will be forced to drop your price and remain on the market longer than desired. To avoid this, you need to make sure that your home is priced properly for what the market sees its value at right at the beginning. And it does go a little bit further into how you can kind of sell your home a little bit easier, I want to say. It's not an easy process, but a little quicker, I should say. You know, pricing your home correctly, using a photographer, and you also really have to pay attention to what the market is asking for as well. So it says in here, including with the market conditions, state of your home, and where the property is located, because it is all about location a lot of the times. But before we get too far into this, if you wouldn't mind, like, share, and subscribe with your neighbors, friends, or family. We are going to be talking about a certain area. So this would help the algorithm and kind of getting it out to that area. And the area that I am talking about is going to be West Seattle, South Seattle, the SeaTac, all that's right here in the yellow that you can see on your screen. And this is also just going to be residential. Nothing against condominiums. Love me some condominiums, but we're just going to delve into the residential side as well as just these areas too. So a lot of the stats that you'll see might be nationwide or all of King County, Snohomish. Again, this is just going to be the residential for these areas that I have here. Now the 7-day market watch stats. This is what happened in the past 7 days. So as you can see here, last week we had a little bit different. There were, I believe, 32 homes that were reduced in price. This week is 53, which is crazy if you see that the new listings, we have 83 of those. And I did look at the prices reduced. There are a couple of them that were reduced and then reduced again within those 7 days just to stay at the top of that hot list, which is a good point that I'll touch on later on what the hot list is and why staying on the top of that and not getting bumped down is important to a lot of sellers as well as real estate agents that are out there. And as you can see here, the pending and sold is over 2 times the amount of new listings. So we have buyers that are out there that are not only wanting to get in homes, but actually purchasing homes at this time, even with the interest rates a little bit higher, which our next slide shows. We have been going down the past 2 weeks on the interest rates. So I believe it was at 6, 7, don't quote me on that, 6, 7 something about 2 weeks ago. Now, they did write that they believe, due to a bunch of circumstances, that later on in the year, interest rates should be going down as well. We'll see kind of what that plays out like. But this is, again, just kind of the graph to show you the past 10 years of where the interest rates were. And as you can see over here in March of 2022, March, May, and June was a huge hike in interest rates. I mean, we went from way down in the low threes, high twos, all the way up to within those 2-3 months up into the fives, kind of the mid fives, shot up into the six, kind of close to the six for a little while, and then came back down. Now that has a huge factor on the buying power of homes. So buying power as well as interest rates is a statistic that they use, and they see it as a home value. So you see a lot of these articles out there, they're talking about home values have gone down 7%, home prices down. That doesn't mean that your home is worth less than what it was a year ago. What that means is the buying power that is out there is not as much because somebody can't buy a, let's say, $1.5 million home. Due to interest rates being this high, they're going to go for a home that's a little bit lower in price, which at the end of the day is going to affect your total sales for, King County or Snohomish, thus lowering the actual average sales price of the homes that are bought. So I know that was kind of boring, but getting into that, you can see why pricing your home so competitively is important at this moment, due to the fact that here on the months of inventory that we have in the blue, as you can see, going up and down, all these arrows are going to be where the May numbers were. Now, since we haven't completed June, we don't have all the June numbers, but these are going to be where May of the months of inventory that we have, and then the sales price to list price. So 100% would be you list it for $1 million, you get $1 million. Kind of basic, but what's not basic is you see that these are all scattered. So months of inventory being higher, sales to list price lower. So you have more homes for sale, less supply, or more supply, less demand. And as you can see here, when we get into 2020 and later on, you have a lot less supply. So the demand, as well as the interest rates, we're just stealing those homes off the market for way over asking price. Due to the sale price to list price, you can really see that, all the way up to 111, I believe it was in some parts 118% over listing price. Now, where we are at right now, it's kind of, I don't want to say balanced, because we should be at about 3,000 homes for King County in itself to have a what you would see as a balanced market. Now, we have in this area alone only 1.1 months of inventory. And so what that means is you really have to price your home competitively in order for it to not only get 100% or more of that list price, but also not get passed over. And then people, again, might say that, oh, well, there's something wrong with this house. It's been on the market for so long. All these other homes are flying off the market, which in Seattle, homes are flying off the market. Now, not as fast as they were when the interest rates were super low, but now, as you can see here, the months of inventory and the list to sales price is kind of even. So it hasn't been like this since, I believe it was 2018, 2017. And right after that, 2019, a lot of homes went back on market. Sales price went down a little bit. Right now, it's more important than ever to really list your price according to what the market sees the value at. Now, days on market. As you can see here, in January of this last year, it hasn't really been that high since January of 2019. And then about 8 years ago, it was up that high again. Now, with interest rates kind of lowering and also just the normal speed up of the spring market, you do see that the days on market has lowered. It has gone down, not just because interest rates are slightly going down, but also people are seeing that there's not as many buyers out in the market. So if you do want to get into a home that you would really enjoy without having to battle 5, 6, 10 other buyers, now might be the right time to do that. And so you can see that in the days on market going down, that buyers are starting to see that, wow, I should go on market, or not I should go on market. I should see what's out in the market right now, even with interest rates high, because I'm not having to fist fight against anybody, which we hope nobody has to fist fight, but you never know. Now, this is another article. This one's talks about the locations in 2018 and 2020 and what the actual lowest days on market per what all the major cities are. And Seattle was way up there with 10 days average on market in 2018 to 2020. Now, as you know, our market has had, well, hopefully, as you would know, I don't want to assume there, but our market has only had roughly 1 month of inventory when we should be at 3, maybe 4 months of inventory. We've been at 1 month of inventory and a lot less for the past 3 years. So we're definitely still up there. And why does that matter? Because if you do not price your home properly, it stays on the market. You have to, this hot sheet I was talking about earlier, you have to do things like lower your price 1,000, lower your price 4,000, just to stay on the top of this hot sheet. Because now, not all real estate agents are gonna, go back and say, oh, this house right here is now within your price range, buyer. Instead, they're gonna see the newer markets, not all of them. They're gonna see the newest ones on market and say, this is what we have. This is what we have. Instead of doing the legwork to say, oh, well, this one was reduced. This one was reduced. So it is a little harder to stay on the front of that kind of page. And again, the MLS is just something that you listed on there. It's not a marketing. Putting your home in the MLS is not marketing. You don't go into a grocery store and, walk through the aisles and see all these cans and say, oh, I'm just going to pick out this random can right here. What marketing would do is it would take that can, put it at the end of the aisle, and where you might have gone in there for bagels, you see this can for sale and say, you know what? I could buy that can for a nice warm day. And what did that is not underpricing the can, it was putting it at the end of the aisle. And how did they do that? It was paid marketing to put it at the end of the aisle to catch your eyes. Whereas you might have just been looking for, again, that bagel. So, overpricing your home, getting it out in front of people's faces, this is definitely two big things that any seller should do. Now, for more information and any kind of questions that you have, feel free to put them in the comments below. But please subscribe, and I will be doing this weekly. Enjoy your day, and happy belated Father's Day for all those fathers out there too. Forgot to say that one. So have a good one, and smash that subscribe button.